it's good to be back, man. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Give me a ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, said I'm a going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. I don't care how much money I gotta spend, 'cause I got to get back to my baby again. Lonely days are gone, said I'm a going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Said she wrote me a letter. She could not live without me no more. Yeah, listen, mister, can't you see? I got to get back to my baby once more. Anyway, give me a ticket for an aeroplane, 'cause I ain't got time for no fast train. Lonely days are gone, said I'm a going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Said she wrote me a letter. She could not live without me no more. Yeah, listen, mister, can't you see? I got to get back to my baby once more. Anyway, give me a ticket for an aeroplane. Said I ain't got time for no fast train. Lonely days are gone, said I'm a going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Said my baby, she wrote me a letter. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Thank you.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I think this is going to be fun. I even brought some bad jokes for you. You know I would.
Would not be a Richard and Cal gig without some bad jokes. That's his department.
Yeah.
I have a list of good jokes, but I refuse to bring them.
Oh, you have the good jokes.
Yeah, I don't bring them to the gig,
okay,
though, because I wouldn't want to, upstage your bad jokes.
Well, we were talking about doing this, just the two of us, because those of you that come from across the river there and that whole different gig, this was a songwriter sandwich. Typically, we had somebody to pick on in between us, and there's nobody there, so I look over, oh yeah, it's Cal.
So we've been having a lot of fun preparing for this gig. We have some new material and some tunes that we love that other people have written. And so here's one of Richard's.
If you go and see David Lindley in concert, every song he starts with a noodle. He'll just kind of get into it slowly. And this song starts right here with this. Doesn't sound like rock and roll yet. She's looking at me funny. She says, tell me where you been. I say, 7-Eleven, baby. Just as sober as I can. She won't come out and say it. She don't believe me anymore. My baby goes in you and out. I go out the door. She's incommunicado. I refuse to read her mind. No matter what I ask, all she'll say is, fine. Is she really that suspicious? Was I really at the store? My baby goes in you and out. I go out and here comes the bridge, it's weird. Stimulus response as predictable as dogs in the laboratory of Ivan Pavlov. It's a stretch, Ivan. You ready, babe? Yeah. It's going to you. I don't know how this all got started. Who sowed the seed of doubt? Was it her sly insinuation or my sneaking in and out? It's a toxic little tango and I can't take it anymore. My baby goes in you and out. I go out and do. Thank you. So this young artist has taken all his paintings down to the local gallery and been invited to do his very first showing. And he puts all his paintings on the wall, and he's a little nervous, but the doors open and people come in, and amongst the attendees is an old art critic, kind of well known in the town, and he's just an old crusty art critic. He's got some cred because he's been around for a long time, but he can be, critical. So he goes and all the way around the room, looks at each of the pictures, and he comes back to the artist and he says, well, you want my opinion? And the artist says, well, sure. And he says, it's worthless. And the artist responds, well, I know it is, but let me hear it anyway. Huh?
I like it.
It looks like comes around the side there. Go, baby.
2 more hours till the sun goes down. 1 more river to cross. When daylight goes, we'll surely drown. One more river to cross. The moon lights up the farthest shore. One more river to cross. No one I know's been there before. One more river to cross. There'll be one more river, one more river, one more river to cross. 2 more hours till the sun goes down. One more river to cross. And when I stumble on my home, one more river to cross. My weary legs will cease to roam. One more river to cross. My heart will sing, my hands will toil. One more river to cross. I'll plant my seeds in fertile soil. One more river to cross. There'll be one more river, one more river, one more river to cross. Yeah, when I stumble on my home, one more river to cross. And when I see my wedding day, one more river to cross. I'll take my bride and sail away, one more river to cross. And if the children come and go, one more river to cross. We'll feel the breeze of heaven blow, one more river to cross. There'll be one more river, one more river, one more river to cross. Yeah, when I see my wedding day, one more river to cross. Here we go. When mercy comes to walk with me, one more river to cross. She'll take my hand and set me free, one more river to cross. The golden light, the journey's in, one more river to cross. We'll guide this pilgrim round the bend, one more river to cross. There'll be one more river, one more river, one more river to cross. Mercy comes to walk with me, one more river to cross. There'll be one more river, one more river, one more river to cross. When mercy comes to walk with me, one more river to cross. There'll be one more river, one more river, one more river to cross. When mercy comes to walk with me, there'll be one more river, river to cross. Thank you.
Cal wrote that song. Dang.
That was from my 2013 singer-songwriter CD called Carved Wood Box. Call it out from the back. Thank you.
Yeah.
And,
You had a little help on that, didn't you?
I did. I had some help, a bunch of different people. And there may be some copies of it later floating around the stage. I did, at the very last minute, I went, okay, now what do we have to do to go to a gig? I got the guitar. I got, CDs. Ran back in the house, got some. But you probably already have them anyway, so.
CD.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For your IRA, certificates of deposit.
This happens, you take a CD and you give it to somebody and they go, I don't have anything to play this on. Stick it in the DVD player and see what happens, man.
Wait,
Hey, we rehearsed.
that's why we rehearsed.
We're jumping into this?
Yeah, right on the top, right?
No, let me tell another bad story.
Okay, bad joke.
Val's got this friend, Amanda, this is a true story. And, yeah, all the other ones are
As opposed to all the other
made
ones.
up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Amanda's a little bit younger than we are. She's about the age of our daughters. They're in their 40s somewhere. And we took a trip down to L.A. with Amanda and saw some other friends. And it was basically me hanging out with a bunch of women, which is okay. I mean, that was good. Amanda kept us honest, though. And I was telling some story from the olden days, the Grateful Dead days. And I said, yeah, that was like a bad acid flashback. And she kind of went, you mean antacid flashback?
I'm taking.
Ron, you can use that.
Yeah.
I think they're oldster jokes, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah, man. It's a whole new genre. Okay, this is a song we're gonna torture in a lot of different ways.
A bunch of different ways we're going to torture this song.
You pick the tempo there.
This is a tune by Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross.
Yeah, you do it slower, baby.
Right there.
Right there. Oh, right there. Oh. 1, 2, 3.
The more I'm with you, pretty baby, the more I feel my love increase. I'm building all my dreams around you. My happiness will never cease. But nothing's any good without you. Baby, you're my centerpiece.
Baby, you're my center.
I'll build a house and garden somewhere along the country road of peace. A little cottage on the outskirts where we can really find release. 'Cause nothing's any good without you. Baby, you're my centerpiece.
You're my centerpiece. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, Richard Moore.
Your turn. Yeah, yeah. Dang. George Benson, maybe. Here we go. What do you call that? Splat, scat. 1, 2, 3, 4.
More I'm with you, pretty baby, the more I feel my love increase. I'm building all my dreams around you. My happiness will never cease. 'Cause nothing's any good without you. Baby, you're my centerpiece. Gonna build a house and garden somewhere along the country road to peace. A little cottage on the outskirts where we can find relief. Yeah, 'cause nothing is any good without you. Baby, you're my centerpiece.
Thank you.
We were going to do this as just a duo, but Richard said, I got to bring some of my digital buddies along.
Did it? It was like spaghetti up here, man. No, we were rehearsing that, and Cal says, well, how are we going to end it? And I says, well, probably true to form, we'll end it however we end it. When we get to the end.
So Richard and I hosted a singer-songwriter showcase, a circle, really, of songwriters for over 10 years back in the before. And we did one show at Alberta Street Pub, and then we went, I wonder if we could take this over to O'Connor's. And we talked to Steve, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So our friend Matt Miner, who's also here tonight, was the third leg in this triangle. And he produced the whole thing, and we had all kinds of great special guests. There was always a sandwich. There was always another singer-songwriter in between Richard and I. We did it every other month on a Monday night, and for more than 10 years. And one of the keys to the success of this whole thing, it was full almost every time we did it. One of the keys to this whole thing was that lovely little bar called O'Connor's. And we miss it terribly. Steve Arell is the guy taking the gate in the back.
Yeah.
He ran the joint.
He's the guy.
And, neither of us and any of the musicians that we know who played there a lot have ever known a club owner like Steve Arell who loves music so much.
I don't know if I have a little altar for Steve in my house.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Ron showed me how to set it up. It's got candles and a little photograph of Steve and some posters from King Beta and in the back. Yeah, it's a flash. It's an antacid flashback. Man.
Antacid flashback. I got pills for that. I got pills for that too.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, true to form, we had to write a song about it. Steve had a very special moniker. Who did that, Ron? It was you, wasn't it? They gave him the name? No, it was you. No. We wrote a song called The Narcoleptic Doorman because, you can understand, Steve got bored, he'd go to sleep. But he could do it sitting up. It was like, I think he even had his eyes open sometimes, but he was...
We asked Steve's permission. First time we did this, can we roast you? And Steve went, you do what you got to do.
No, his actual his words were, if you must.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
It was this time.
Yeah, it was this time, yeah.
And this time Richard said, you care if we do the Narcoleptic Doorman again? And he said, well, you do what you got to do.
Steve, we love you, man. I swear to God. And we're trying to capture that musically. It's hard.
So this is a tune that we wrote for Steve and O'Connor's, and it's called The Narcoleptic Doorman.
Steve Arell, the doorman, always there to greet. Sometimes in a conscious state, sometimes fast asleep. The narcoleptic doorman, he doesn't have a lot to say. Ask him why he looks so confused, he'll say, it just came out that way.
Around his clientele, just think he's swell, around, 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 might fall asleep, but what the hell, around.
Cal wrote the chorus. It's brilliant. That little sucker gets stuck in your head, too. Did that happen to you? Whistling it in the kitchen and stuff. So now we're going to shift the spotlight off of Steve. He's going, thank you. And this is about O'Connor's. The unspectacular nightclub. O'Connor's had a style. Wake up the boomers when the band kicked in. You watch them dancing in the aisle, right? Quintessentially quirky. O'Connor's had an Irish name. Why the menu had a Cajun flair, there's only Steve to blame, right?
Around, around his clientele, just think he's swell. Around, 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 he might fall asleep, but what the hell? Around.
I think it's a sing-along, baby, you know? I think they're picking up on this. Just one laboratory, square feet, 2x4. Line up politely when your tank is full and be sure to lock the door. No AC in OC, but Steve had a practical plan. He broke the budget at the Walmart store and he bought a backdoor fan.
Those keys around were fun as hell. That's why you're swell. Around. Those days are gone, oh, but the nights live on. The memories are strong. Around.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Thank you for all those great years, Steve.
Ron has another drink. He'll get up and do a little testimonial, I think. What, yeah? Feeling like next? No? No? Okay. You know about Miss Sweet's third grade class? No? Well, she was teaching mammals. Her subject matter for that day for her class was mammals.
Children are mammals.
Where's Gigi?
She was teaching mammals means
Miss Sweet. There's Miss Sweet, the third
Yeah.
grade teacher. Did you teach third grade or first grade? Mostly. Okay. Well, this was the fourth grade class. And Miss Sweet is teaching about mammals. And she says, kids, let's start with the largest mammal on the planet. What would that be? Good. She says, the curious thing about the whale is that because it eats krill, which are very, very tiny things, its throat is very small. And so, for example, it couldn't swallow a human being because a person wouldn't fit down the whale's throat. And this little girl in the back row raises her hand and she says, what about Jonah? He was eaten by a whale, you know. And the teacher says, Yeah, I don't think so. Jonah could not go down the throat of the whale. It's too small. And little girl said, but it says that in the Bible. The teacher goes, yeah, but it's impossible. And the little girl says, okay, well, when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask Jonah about that. The teacher says, well, what if Jonah didn't go to heaven? And the girl says, well, then you ask him. Didn't see that coming, did you? Those of you who were at the dinner last night heard that last night.
So we're going to, throughout the course of the evening, Rich and I are going to do a few solo tunes, which we want to do, and this is one of his.
And you're welcome to throw a little key of D at the nod. Okay. I remember you. Do you remember when you chased away the rain? I laughed it back again. I remember now the colors that you wore, splashed across the ground, impatient pinafore. Didn't it ever strike you strange how we'd both been here before? I remember one intoxicated night. You rose above the crowd, wandered out of sight, and I could reach across the stars, and I'd still not get it right. Thank you.
This is a tune that Richard and I wrote together a number of years ago. And I've never recorded it until now. I have this new project that I've started with a couple of pals of mine. We were all a member of this 60s band called the Scepters that many of you heard over at OC's. And now we're going to do a new little trio of all original stuff. And we just call it Scott, Bailey, and Ross because we all wish we had been lawyers when we grew up. So
Isn't the lawyers supposed to wish they were musicians?
yeah.
Yeah. Get it backwards.
Anyway, this is called More Than Any Man Could Ask. Old Frank looks like a statue on that bench on Dover Street. He's got an old felt hat in his nose and a book and a happy dog at his feet. He never has a cruel word or a cynical reply. But if you had to guess, he might be the best at the art of getting by. Just give me my pork pie hat and a bottle of hooch, a copy of the Grapes of Wrath, the company of a faithful pooch, more than any man could ask. He don't talk about Vietnam or the Curry County Jail. He won't tell you that success in life is all about the way you fail. And you can ask him about the Donovan trial and why he copped a plea. Well, he won't say much, but when he does, he says, all I need is my pork pie hat and a bottle of hooch, a copy of the Grapes of Wrath, the company of a faithful pooch, more than any man could ask. He don't need no Cadillac, no chattering possessions, they're like monkeys on his back. He don't need no alligator shoes. When your pockets are empty, you got nothing left to lose. Yeah, nothing left to lose. Well, Mary checks in once a month, and it's always on the first. She'll say Frank was no blue ribbon boy, yeah, but nowhere near the worst. And she'll tell him that the sheriff died and that Billy sold the Benz. Well, Frank says, no, just keep the dough, 'cause you can't go home again. Just give me my pork pie hat and a bottle of hooch, the copy of the Grapes of Wrath, the company of a faithful pooch, more than any man could ask. Give me my pork pie hat and a bottle of hooch, the copy of the Grapes of Wrath, the company of a faithful pooch, more than a man, yeah, more than any man could ask. More than any man could ask. Woo-hoo-hoo. More than any man could ask. Thank you.
That's cool. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
Well, it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. I don't know what to say about this song. It's called The Flexible Sigmoidoscopy. I think every 10 years I play this song out. And I wrote it when I was 50, which was a few years back. But that's, when this whole business kicks in. They don't do the flexible sigmoidoscopy anymore. They've retired that procedure and replaced it with the colonoscopy. Anyway.
Yeah.
As Steve would say, if you must. I don't mind it being told I'm a half a century old, 'cause there's benefits I never had expected. I've got wisdom, I've got grace, and a weather-beaten face. But the kids now know that dad's to be respected. Oh, but my reverie was stalled when the doctor's office called to schedule an exam that I neglected. Seems it was time for the flexible sigmoidoscopy. It's difficult to say, but now it's easy to see. Into places where the sun don't shine. Be the first to sign up and leave your friends behind. Yeah. Kid, have you heard this song? He's rapt attention there. Well, I was nervous. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love this, man. We go straight to the audience for some feedback. I was nervous, I was shy. I'm a modest kind of guy. So I balked. But then that's not courageous, is it? So I approached the nurse's desk with a muted short request that they not announce the reason for my visit. I don't know what possessed the nurse to come up with a verse with words so scatologically explicit. That's some lyric writing there.
That's a heck of a lyric, I'd say, right there.
She sang to the entire waiting room. We got your flexible sigmoidoscopy. Come on, people, sing along with me. He don't look crazy, but we think he's nuts to do the backdoor boogie with Dr. Seymour Butts. Remember that joke in high school? It was the books, right? Book titles. Under the grandstands. The doctor wrote it. Bam, bam, bam. So, anyway, my confidence was fried as she led me deep inside. And like a lamb, I followed in her tracks. The nurse said, "Please sit down." And then she handed me a gown, and she said, "Just leave it open in the back." The doctor rolled in on a stool, brandishing a tool, and he said, "Okay now, just relax. I've got your flexible sigmoidoscopy. It's difficult to say, but now it's easy to see. Into places where the sun don't shine. Be the first to sign up and leave your friends behind." So I was in the colonoscopy a week or so ago over at the Oregon Clinic, and I was telling the doctor about this song. And, I'm getting ready. They're all prepped up and in there ready for the procedure, and the anesthesiologist is over on my left. He's from Alabama. He's got a real southern accent. I don't know what I thought about that, but he said, "We're going to put you under here," and I was singing, "We got Jeff there," and then you wake up like it's like nothing ever happened. Anyway, this is the last verse, so. Yeah, it's almost over.
You won't remember a single thing after this.
I remember thinking, wow, it's a miracle somehow that my colon could enjoy illumination. I said, Doc, what do you see? He said, looks like shit to me, but I think I've just achieved my destination. So with a thumbs up and a grin, he began to reel it in. Now that was one indescribable sensation. It's the flexible sigmoidoscopy, a new backdoor technology. It feels a little funny when it first goes in, but you'll be happy that you did it in the end. Ow! Bam, 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 bam. Yeah. You know, someday I'd like to play that for Miss Sweet's 5th grade class. I think they get a huge, huge kick out of it.
Yeah, I'm really sorry in terms of that medically is not common anymore, because that is such a great piece of lyric.
Well, you know, it sings. When the minute I heard that, I said, well, there's a song in there, baby.
How did you?
Cal's been, you know, spent a lot of time during the pandemic crying, and practicing his guitar, and keeping his chops up and his fingers nimble. And
When I was younger, oh, so much younger than before, I used to play at a club downtown called Frankenstein's, and some of you are old enough to actually remember that. And one of the things I used to do was fingerpick, and I hadn't done it for a long time, so I thought this whole self-quarantine thing would be a good opportunity to try to remember, to teach my fingers how they used to play. And this is a tune that I used to do in those days. It's called The Buck Dancer's Choice. Thank you.
We have a sing along for you here, and some of you know the lyrics, and those of you who haven't heard this before, it's pretty easy.
This is also something that Richard and I co-wrote with a couple other writers.
Yeah, a couple British guys. Jumping in?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
When I find myself in Dunkin' Donuts, Oprah Winfrey comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, gluten-free. And when my belly aches like it was punched by Muhammad Ali, there will be a diet gluten-free. Everybody. Gluten-free, 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 gluten-free. Omnivore's dilemma, gluten-free.
When my kitchen cupboard's calling, set that bag of Cheetos free. Hard to stay committed, gluten-free. 'Cause 20 minutes later, with my fingertips all orangey, there will be a guilt trip, gluten-free. Gluten-free, 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 gluten-free. Omnivore's dilemma, gluten-free. I wake up hungry, salivating, pasta prowling through my dreams, singing Sole Mio, gluten-free. And I'd like to fly to Venice, but what's the point of Italy when your guts are gladly gluten-free? Gluten-free, 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 gluten-free. Omnivore's dilemma, gluten-free.
And when I'm out to dinner, it's more complicated now for me, 'cause pizza was a food group, gluten-free. And in my final hours, my last supper is a cup of tea. I've lived a full month longer, gluten-free, yeah, gluten-free, 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 gluten-free. Omnivore's dilemma, gluten-free. One more. Oh, gluten-free, 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 gluten-free. Omnivore's dilemma, gluten-free.
Sound like a dang choir out there.
We're going to take a short break and we'll be back. Thank you very much. One other show that's coming up at the end of the month that is going to be a lot of fun is I'm going to be the special guest of the ex-Nashville Cats, Denny Bigsby and John Bunzo. It's the last Sunday of the month, the 24th, right here at the same time, Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Richard and I were both going to do it, but he has another thing he has to do, going to be out of town that weekend, so I will do it myself.
Dang, I'm going to miss it.
I'm going to miss you.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't recognize that dude that has the microphone in the back room, that's Gary Furlow. Yeah, baby.
A fine singer-songwriter in his own right.
He is. He played many, many nights at O'Connor's, and Cal and I sound pretty good, but when we come down here and we're playing with Gary at the controls, we sound even better.
Much better. And speaking of Lloyd Jones, this next tune is a tune I wrote with Lloyd during the pandemic, and it's also going to be on the new Scott Bailey and Ross CD, which will be done sometime this summer, and we're going to have a show here. All things going well, we're going to have a show here on I think it's like the 24th of September. That'll be a CD release party. I always wanted to write a train song. You know, every songwriter wants to write a train song. So I wrote this kind of like for that reason. But there's also a tradition in many cultures of a kind of a ritual on New Year's Day where you do something, you light a little piece of paper that's a sorrow or a burden, and you send it off. So I wanted to kind of write a song like that too. So this is a tune that Lloyd and I wrote. It's called Send Your Troubles on Their Way. When the sun comes up on New Year's, it shines on the baggage train. It's come to haul away your sorrows. You can drop off all of your pain. So bundle up your burdens while you're waiting on that day, and then load them on the baggage train. Send them on their way. You gotta pack up all of those demons, the ones that fill you up with doubt. You know they're gonna beg and gonna bargain, yeah, but don't let them get back out. Just bundle up those burdens while you're waiting on that day, and then load them on the baggage train. Send them on their way. Send them on their way. Send your troubles on their way. Send them on their way. Send them on their way. If you've lost someone to the sickness, or you've lost your fortune of gold, if you've lost your reason for living, it's left an empty hole in your soul. Just bundle up those burdens while you're waiting on that day, and then load them on that baggage train. Send them on their way. Send them on their way. Send your troubles on their way. Send them on their way. You gotta send them on their way. Send them on their way. Send your troubles on their way. Send them on their way. Send them on their way. You gotta send them on their way, send them on their way. Send your troubles on their way. You gotta send them on their way, send them on their way. Send your troubles on their way. Send them on their way. Send them on their way. It goes off in the distance. You gotta send them on their way. Send them on their way.
Send them on, send them on, send them on their way.
Send them on their way, send them on their way. Send those troubles on their way. Thank you.
This little story is from my friend Kent, who's a dog lover, and he and Louise offered to take care of our little dog Daisy. Actually, it's Val's dog Daisy. When we were out of town for a couple of days, and Daisy is a dachshund, and she's just not a very nice. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, should I? Yeah. We went to pick up the dog 3 days later, and Kent had given her not a new name, but kind of a title. He refers to her as the Empress Dowager. Or was it Dowager Empress? It's Dowager Empress, I'm sorry, yeah. Because the dog is just kind of spoiled and a little, kind of snotty. I don't know. Would you, what adjective would you use? Imperious. Imperious, okay, yeah. Imperious little German dog. But this guy goes to the movies, and the movie hadn't started yet, and he's sitting there, and he looks in the row down, 2 rows down, and over to the side, and he sees a guy sitting there, and there's a dog in the chair next to him. Dog is being well behaved, looking at the screen, waiting for the movie to start, and the movie starts, and I didn't think too much of it, but he looks over periodically as the film goes down, and he realizes that when the movie's sad, the dog kind of hangs his head, and when the movie's happy, the dog is kind of perked up and like that. And he thinks, this is crazy, And so on the way out of the movie, the guy's walking his dog up the aisle, and the guy goes over and he says, hey, sorry to bother you, but I think your dog actually liked that movie. That's kind of weird. And the dog owner says, yeah, it's kind of weird because he hated the book. Huh? Yeah. Has nothing to do with this song. Well, it seems a month of Sundays since this kid went out to play. Now my mojo's down to no more. Big Joy just walked away. Sounds like a pandemic, doesn't it? After all these years of chasing up and down this court, all of my cool creations just keep coming up short because of those expectations. They're killing me. You know, I realized somewhere in my 60s, expectations have an upside and a downside. This song is about the downside. Well, a young boy had a treehouse, but he didn't live there long. He saw his road to glory. He climbed down to write his song. He had a dream to follow. He had a plan complete. But now all of those words and wisdom are just stacking up at his feet because of those expectations. Oh, cool harmony, baby. I've been collecting boxes, trying to fill up this empty space. Now oh shit. Now I'm a prisoner of possessions. Sorry. In a magnificent place. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Expectations, baby.
They told me big fulfillment must be somewhere in this stuff. Yeah, but the more I stand on top of all, the less I feel enough because of those expectations. Whoa.
Oh, missed that.
That was, you weren't expecting that.
I was not expecting that. Try that again.
Okay. Expectations.
No.
It's all about expectation.
Yeah.
It's a thin musical bit of humor. Cal's going, oh, man. Here we go. And when you least expect it, okay. My friend Ed sent me an email, and he said, you know, 'cause, like a week ago, they had this whole thing in the Oregonian about the canopy. You read the, you know, oh my God, the trees are disappearing. And I didn't see this, but he said apparently there was a quote in the Oregonian that said that the tree, but they had a restoration policy for bringing the canopy back and restoring it. And the headline in the paper was, tree restoration policy generates concrete results. It was in there. It was like that. And you wonder if whoever put that in there got it themselves, you know. Life is stranger than, yeah. Okay, Cal's got another instrumental he's going to play.
So I'm going to do attempt instrumental here that I call Cabin Fever. I originally wrote it years ago, pieces of it, and I forgot. It was in a little film. I can't even remember what it was, and it was kind of cool. And I showed it to my niece, Rebecca Scott, who's a really one of the top of the Heath singer-songwriters over in Boise. She's made her living that way for years and years and years, and is a real dear friend of Sue and I's. And so I showed it to Rebecca, and I kind of forgot about it. I gave her a little recording of it, kind of forgot about it. Well, she learned it. And and then the next time we got together, she said, I want to show you something. I mean, actually, this was 2 or 3 years later that we got together. She said, I want to show you something. And she played this, and I said, what is that? And she said, you wrote it. I went, oh, I did. Yes, I kind of remember that. So she came up with her whole version of this tune. And Sue and I are out visiting with she and her wife a couple of years ago. And she pulled that out again and showed it. I said, okay, teach me that. Teach it back to me. So she did, and I said, what the hell kind of tuning did I use? And so she showed me the tuning, and she showed me, kind of what. So part of the thing I did in recent COVID lockdown was work out a new version of this tune. Rebecca calls it Swamp Thing, by the way, which I thought is kind of appropriate for the COVID thing, Swamp Thing. So maybe I'll call it that. Richard and I went to college together. We've known each other a long time. And sometime during my freshman or sophomore year, we met and we would sing songs together and so on. And I was a, pretty good finger picker in those days, but not established or anything. And Richard says, you ever heard of Leo Kottke? And I said, who's that? And he kind of grabs me by the scruff of my neck and drags me downtown to this place called the Agora Coffee House. And it was Kottke's first tour, the Aardvark record, right? And there wasn't very many people there. No one ever heard from him. I don't know where you heard of him. But we sat real close to the front, and I was like going, oh, man, who is this? So this is kind of an homage.
That boy had a wicked sense of humor, too, didn't he?
Kottke, no kidding. All right, Cabin Fever or Swamp Thing. Again. Thank you.
I mean, that's just brave to attempt that shit, you know? Whoa! He's got a tune back to where he was before that. And we're gonna take you on a little tour of like a lounge. We got a lounge tune. It's actually from Brazil, and we're in an attempt to include a little variety in the show here. Cal's going to pull out his horn, and after he tunes up his guitar, and we're going to do a little tune by Antonio Carlos Jobim. But in the meantime,
I think that was Richard's wife, Val, who just said that. In the meantime, oh God.
oh God, that was nice timing, huh? No. She goes, I could just imagine. No, we had dinner with some friends last night, and a few of them are here, and which is lovely. 2 nights in a row. We're getting a little tired of you, but it's really nice of you to come. And part of the dinner table conversation was famous quotes from the courtroom. And my friend Jackie Halleck sent me this. This is 2002. She sent this to me, and that was back in the day when, you emailed stupid jokes to each other. And it was novel, at the time. But this is from an actual court transcript, and it starts out with a question from one of the attorneys to the doctor, and says, "Doctor, before you performed the autopsy, did you check for a pulse?" "No." "Did you check for blood pressure?" "No." "Did you check for breathing?" "No." So then it's possible that the patient was alive when you began the autopsy. "No." "How can you be sure, doctor?" "Because his brain was sitting on my desk in a jar." "But could the patient have still been alive nevertheless?" "Yes, it is possible that he could have been alive and practicing law somewhere." Thank you, all you hardworking lawyers out there. Rod, that one's for you, babe. Quiet stars, quiet chords from my guitar, floating on the silence that surrounds us. Quiet talks and quiet dreams, quiet walks by quiet streams, and the window that looks out on Corcovado. Oh, so lovely. This is where
here with you, so close to me, till the final flicker of life's ember. And I, who was lost and lonely, believing life was only a bitter, tragic joke I found with you. The meaning of existence, oh my love. This is where I want to be, here with you, so close to me, until the final flicker of life's ember. And I, who was lost and lonely, believing life was only a bitter, tragic joke I found with you. The meaning of existence, oh my love.
That dude could write a melody. That's just a really pretty song. Val and I have been watching this. It's episodic kind of TED Talk series by Brene Brown. Yeah, Brene Brown. Atlas of the Heart, right? Does that sound right? And she talks about the portal in the first episode, and the portal being this. Oh yeah, she references all these sci-fi films where you got to go down the wormhole, or you go. The Back to the Future is a portal right into a completely different space. And before I started that song, we're going down the portal, baby, and the whole room goes, man, it's just so cool. All right, what do we got?
Perfect, appropriate title. This is another of Richard's tunes. It's called Everything Changes. Or as we like to say, now for something completely different.
This is actually not my song. It's a friend of mine, an old friend from high school, goes further back than you, wrote this song and sent it to me 5-6 years ago, and he said, here, man, I just wrote this. And so I listened to it, and I said, well, what do you want me to do? And he said, fix it. I said, it doesn't need to be fixed. It's fine. So I went in and screwed around with it. He expected me to do that. My friend Rick died in February. This is, sorry. And this song is called Everything Changes, and the lyric to it are just, it's just somehow, I don't know what he knew, but that's the backstory for this song. And so it's, I'm singing it for Rick. I think he'd like to hear it, so he's listening somewhere with us. life left you out again, and you're wondering why. The music and the majorettes passing you by. But there's roses on everything, covered with rain. Yes, and it smells just like yesterday, but it's so not the same. You camp on the curb and you wave at the past, 'cause you know all of those flowers won't last. Everything changes night to day. Everything changes, go or stay. Just when you think you lost your way, everything changes. He was a big open-hearted man. He just wanted to play. But he lost his guitar again, 'cause he wandered away. The time was the tide and the sand in his shoes. He laughed at the greens and the blues. Everything changes. Sing your song. Everything changes, right or wrong. Laugh while you can, 'cause it won't be long till everything changes. When everything's good enough at the end of the day, and you try to hold on to it, but it just slips away. Hold your child close and deny that you know that someday you'll have to let go, 'cause everything changes. Fall or stand, everything changes. That's the plan. Just when you think you understand, everything changes. Thank you.
One of my favorite tunes from the American Songbook. We're going to do a couple of tunes from the American Songbook here.
Stephen Foster?
No.
This song he's about to do was purloined. That's a good word. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It has something to do with barbecue.
Stolen.
Oh, yeah.
Stolen.
I thought it was a barbecue rub. Purloin?
Yeah. Scotch and soda, mud in your eye. Baby, do I feel high on me? Oh my. Oh, do I feel high? Dry martini, jigger of gin. Oh, what a spell you've got me in. Oh my. Oh, do I feel high? People won't believe me. They say that I'm just bragging. Ah, but I could feel the way that I do. Still be on the wagon. Oh, all that I need is one of your smiles, sunshine of your eyes. Oh, me, oh, my. Oh, do I feel high? People won't believe me. They say that I'm just bragging. Ah, but I could feel the way that I do and still be on the wagon. Oh, all that I need is one of your smiles, sunshine of your eyes. Oh, me, oh, my. Oh, do I feel higher than a kite can fly? Oh, give me loving, baby, I feel high. Thank you. Now, the purloined part of that song is that Dave Guard of the Kingston Trio, the story is that he went out to visit his girlfriend's family in the Midwest, and they went out to a bar one night, and there was a piano player playing that song. And he said, I love that song, man. Teach it to me. And so he taught it to him, and Guard goes back to Los Angeles and goes to the Kingston Trio and says, we have to learn this song. We have to do it. And they're like, that's just not our bag, man. He says, no. We got to do it. This is a hit. I tell you, it's a hit. So they did it, and they go, well, we got to find out who wrote it. So he goes back to the Midwest, can't find the guy. And he hunts around, tries to find it, looks it up, not on Google, no. And he can't find a guy, can't find any record of the song ever. So he copyrighted it himself. I don't know if that's really true, but it makes a good story.
Are we doing midnight?
No, do
Till It Was You?
Till It Was You. Yeah.
is another cool. This is a real simple love song, and I've got a penchant for musical theater. My favorite musical is The Music Man. So I wore that record out. And when I was about 10, I learned the whole, well, you got trouble, my friends, right here in River City. And my parents thought that was novel. But this is the little love song that happens at the end of the whole run on the footbridge. This is the footbridge song. And, you know, the Beatles didn't do too many cover tunes of other people. I think Twist and Shout was somebody else's song, and they covered that. But this particular song was on one of the Beatle albums, written by a guy named Meredith Willson. Clear the pipes. There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. Like that E flat, baby? Liked it. And there was music and wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew, there was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. Go, baby. And there was music and wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew, there was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. Yay, that's Ravel.
We're going to do a couple more tunes for you. This is another tune from the Scott Bailey and Ross upcoming CD that the three of us, Scott Bailey and Ross, wrote together. This is a heist song. Yeah. It's called Midnight Drive. It takes place in old Las Vegas.
A neon sign in lipstick red. Eve's Apple Orchard was all it said. 15 years ago tonight, a diamond gone without a fight. Casino stuck on the edge of town. Unlikely crew that took it down. Well, the building's gone, but the story survives. It was old town Vegas on a midnight drive. Nothing good happens after midnight. Smile at millionaires for nickels and dimes. Break time, chatter, work and graveyard. Well, it just might lead to a night of crime. A barren son from an eastern state. All night poker, it's getting late. Well, his daddy's ring in a dusty safe was collateral for the highest stakes. The dealer's cue, a stifled yawn. Tonight's the night, the game is on. They were patient till their time arrived. It was old town Vegas on a midnight drive. Nothing good happens after midnight. Smile at millionaires for nickels and dimes. Break time, chatter, work and graveyard. Well, it just might lead to a night of crime. The sign on the door in another state. Market price by carat weight. Well, they all agreed on the time and the place, and they split the cash and left no trace. Well, no arrests from that night stood. Their simple plan was just that good. And the locals talk about those fights. It was old town Vegas on a midnight drive. Nothing good happens after midnight. Smile at millionaires for nickels and dimes. Break time, chatter, work and graveyard. Well, it just might lead to a night of crime. Yeah, it just might lead to a night of crime. Well, it just might lead to a night of crime. Thank you. Thanks so much.
That clock has said 7:40, man, or 6:40 all night. That clock right there. I keep looking at it, you know,
Wow.
expecting it to say something else.
Well, you've been a fantastic audience.
Yeah, baby.
Oh,
We like you.
we were so happy to be able to do this and kind of dip our toe in the waters again, and you were the perfect audience to do it.
Thank you. It's nice to be out. It's nice to be seen, right? Be seen. Yeah, we're going to attempt a Stevie Wonder tune. Oh, yeah, that's crazy or brave.
Not just any Stevie Wonder tune. No, sir. So this will be our last tune. Thank you so much. And we are Richard Moore and Cal Scott.
Yeah, Cal Scott and Richard Moore.
And there is a tip jar right here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
We're going to donate that to your orphanage, Ron. So, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right to Jamaica. Music is a world within itself, with a language we all understand, with an equal opportunity for all to sing, dance, clap their hands. Yeah. Just because a record's got a groove don't make it in the groove. But you can tell right away from a letter A when the people start to move. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. Music knows it is and ours will be one of the things life just won't quit. And when that chorus comes around, we want you guys singing. You can feel it all over. I forgot the lyric. Yeah, where there's bass in Miller, Satchmo, the king of all seduce. With a voice like Hitler's ringing out, no way that man can move. Yeah. You can feel it all over. Yeah, yeah. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. Yeah. You can feel it all over. Louder, baby. You can feel it all. You can feel it all. You can feel it all over, people. Yes, you can. Then I can feel it out there. You can feel it all over. Here we go. Hey! Thank you.
All right, but you got to help us on this one too. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Work hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? won't you buy me a color TV? Dialing for dollars is trying to find me. I'll wait for delivery each day until 3. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Night on the town. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord. Please don't let me down, and prove that you love me and buy the next round. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? Well, we've been digging around on the internet. Richard was just down in L.A. and he went to the rock and roll hole in the wall.
The
Old
Troubadour?
lyric.
Oh, the old lyric
The
vault.
lyric place, yeah, vault. So we found a couple more verses.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Pinot Noir? This Sangiovese just ain't up to par. You know where to find me. I'll be under the bar. Oh Lord, just a short case of Pinot Noir. Thank you for that, Al. Ah, Lord.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Fender guitar? This beat up old import just won't get me far, and prove that you love me and make me a star. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Fender guitar? Oh Lord, won't you bring me breakfast in bed? Huevos rancheros and cinnamon bread, and sing me a love song by the Grateful Dead. Oh Lord, won't you bring me breakfast in bed?
Mercedes-Benz. Here we go.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches, I must make amends. Work hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Good night, everybody. Thank you.